Let's talk about Cooper Flagg. Cooper Flagg. Man, welcome back to the channel. I'm going to say this right off the bat, a generational prospect. I know Victor Wembanyama was just a couple years ago. You shouldn't have a generational prospect every couple years, but in this case, it's happened. He's 6'9", 205 pounds. He was the second youngest player in college basketball behind Jaden Quaintance, and he will be the youngest player in the NBA draft this year. Oh, and by the way, he's the best player. So I think that says a lot about the upside for Cooper Flagg, but also how good he is right now. And I think it's important to say he will be the same age as LeBron was when he was a rookie. So because he reclassified, Cooper Flagg is going to be really, really young when he starts his NBA career. So what makes Cooper Flagg special? Well, let's just go through a few of his traits. Number one, a lot of people talk about this. I think it is important to say off the bat. He plays with an insanely high motor. He's a high-level competitor, and he's a guy who's just relentless. He takes over games. He did it against Arizona. The last 7.5 minutes of the first half against Arizona and the first 8 minutes or so of the second half were just unbelievable in the way he took over the game. Passing, scoring, defense, he did it all. He's got an insanely high basketball IQ. He's a great passer with really good size. He gets downhill and he can really finish with both hands, but I feel like he prefers to finish with his left hand. He can score from all three levels. He really likes the pull-up mid-range jumper, which I think wasn't necessarily super efficient at the college level, but I think is something he will get better at as time goes on. And once he turned 18 and shot at home back in Maine with his dad, he became a really excellent three-point shooter. Not necessarily on a ton of volume. We'll get to the stats later, but he started knocking them down around 44% in conference play, which is just crazy considering all the other things he does well. Defensively, specifically, he's a great shot blocker. He gets into passing lanes, and he can really guard 1 through 4 and some 5s, but not, if you're a post-up 5 or a stronger 4 that likes to play in the post, it's going to give him a little bit of trouble for right now. And the one thing I want to mention that I don't think gets enough love, he is a tremendous rebounder. Like, not a good rebounder, a great, excellent rebounder. He had multiple games with over 12 rebounds this past season for Duke. And a lot of people talk about Cooper Flagg. He gets a ton of love, deservedly so. I think it's the one area where people don't talk about enough is how good of a rebounder Cooper Flagg is. Now, weaknesses, there's not many. There's not many. But if I had to pick out a couple, at times he is a little bit turnover prone. And that showed up, in a couple of games. But he did a good job as well, towards the end of the season with that. But there were times where he just turned the ball over too many times. He can be forced off of his spot offensively, and he likes to get a little bit closer to the basket to get those lefty layups or those turnaround jumpers. And at times against stronger players, more physical players, he's forced to shoot those shots farther away. That showed up a lot in the game against Alabama, where he finished 6 of 16 from the field. And I think a lot of that was because they did a good job of forcing him to shoot from, 3 or 4 feet outside of where he wanted to take the shot from. And I think that is a strength thing. And lastly, this kind of dovetails with the turnover concerns that popped up occasionally throughout the season, was his handle. His dribbling's got to improve. I think if his handle, and actually I want to say it like this, I think because the one thing I learned about Cooper Flagg is anytime you think this guy has a deficit or an area where he needs to improve, he will figure it out. He will get better at that area. So when he improves his handling, his dribbling ability, it will improve his ability as a mid-range shooter and as a guy to get all the way to the basket, because that's the one thing that kind of holds him back. He's not a great dribbler right now. I think that's his biggest concern going to the next level. He's going to have to get better there because that will unlock a lot of the rest of his game as well as get stronger. But I think that's kind of a lazy take The guy's 18. He doesn't turn 19 until December. And it's just going to happen naturally with time. And I think that's one of the scariest things about Cooper Flagg is he's going to get stronger. And when that happens, I think he will become a little bit more athletic over the next few years as well. And he's just going to be a nightmare to defend. Not only defend, but he's going to be a nightmare to go against when he's defending you as well. That's what makes Cooper Flagg such a special player as a two-way prospect. Statistically, I mean, like I said before, he does it all, but, oh boy, hold on. It's really evident when you look at his statistics here. So, in 37 games for the Blue Devils, he missed a couple. 19 points, 7.5 rebounds, 4 assists, 1.4 steals, 1.4 blocks. He led Duke in all 5 of those categories, which is just insane based off of how talented the Duke team was this past season. 48% from the field, 39% from 3, 52% from 2, and 84% from the free throw line. 2.1 turnovers, so a 2-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio. And by the way, like I was saying before, 44% from 3 in conference play, 57% from 2 in conference play, 86% from the free throw line. So the guy got better as the year went on. There's very few sure things in the NBA draft. Cooper Flagg is one of them. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel. Let me know your comments on Cooper below, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.